All right, good morning, guys. We're going to get started here in just a minute. I'm going to give people some time to jump on, and then we will get started with setting up your agent website in Command. Feel free to unmute yourselves to ask questions, turn on your cameras so it's easier for me to interact with you guys. If you're not able to, that's fine too, but it's a little easier to talk to people when you've got a face that you can speak to. All right, before we get started, does anybody have any questions? All right, I'm going to take that as a no. So setting up your agent website in Command. First thing you want to do is log in. You'd go to agent.kw.com and log into Command. Before we set up our agent website, we want to make sure that our marketing profile is complete. So to do that, you're going to click on your name in the top right corner and select Settings. Now in Command or KW Tech overall, you've got 3 profiles you need to set up. The marketing profile can be found here under Connect Settings and then Marketing Profile. This is all of your outward client-facing information. So this is what's going to go to your website, to your app, any marketing materials that you create in Command. So you want to make sure that this is all updated. So you'll come here to make sure you have your headshot, your team logo if you're a part of a team, your team name here. If you're not on a team, add something here because this will be what the drop down is on your website. And I'll show you what I mean by that once we get there. So I just added Agent Success Team to my profile because I'm on the staff here. I'm not actually a realtor. Double check and make sure that all of your contact information is correct. You've got your bio filled out here. Your Market Center brokerage logo should already be uploaded there. If not, reach out to your Market Center staff to see if you can get that logo. Make sure you have your legal footer text here. Each office is independently owned and operated. Oops. And then your social profiles, if you have them, if they are real estate specific, don't just add your personal Facebook page if you're not actually using that for work. And then Facebook Pixel and ads or the Google Analytics ID, you don't need to worry about for your website unless you're doing paid Facebook or Instagram advertising or Google ads. And that's another class entirely. So you want to make sure this is saved and that this green switch up here at the top is toggled to the right. It says use my information to brand my agent site. That way you don't have to enter all this information again. Okay, any questions about setting up your marketing profile before we get to your website? Nope, all right. So to set up your agent website, you're going to go here to the bottom left where it says consumer. And you'll see, oh, let me move these pictures out of the way. Okay. So what we'll do is go to configure your site. You're going to select, I want to use the new KW agent sites and then submit. And usually that works. I don't know why it's not popping up now. Oh, great. Yeah, that's helpful. Okay, so in the event that that doesn't work, which is always fun when you're teaching a tech class and the tech is not cooperating, Instead of selecting configure your site, go to site and app settings. And we'll go to learn more with Kelly guides. So this is a step-by-step guide of setting up your website for the first time. We want to set up our agent site here and then continue. You're going to select get started and then acknowledge and continue. Okay, so on the left-hand side, you'll see a preview of what your site's going to look like. On the right-hand side is where you edit it. So your subdomain is your URL or the web address to get to your website. So you'll have to confirm this domain. Mine is just my first and last name, .kw.com. So you'll have to confirm that to make sure that's available for you. Your marketing profile information should already be filled out because we just did that. Don't be thrown off by this KW Royals Realtors. It says right here, this is an example. So it's not actually going to put that on your website. This shows you what your logos are going to look like in the top left corner. Okay. Then we can hit save and continue and move on to the next page. So you're going to set up a total of 4 pages here. There's the home page, what Keller Williams calls the company profile. There's the about me page and then the contact me page. The home page links to the KWLS. So this is where your clients could search for properties. On this next setup, the style and theme, you're just selecting if you want the red theme or the dark theme. The only difference that I've seen here is that it changes this KW from red to black. Personally, I prefer the red. All right, so your homepage text here, I think the default is find your dream home. I changed mine to welcome home. Ideally, you want to have something here that is an action verb. So you're asking your clients or whoever's visiting your website to take action to do something. So start your search or find your dream home or get started, something that evokes an action from them. And we call that a CTA or a call to action. All right, so the next thing you want to do is upload a homepage hero image. And when they say hero image, this is what they mean. It's kind of like the front elevation of a property. This is the hero image of your website. So there are 5 standard images that are uploaded here, and they will kind of carousel through on their own. You can delete all of them and upload your own. You can delete all but one. I will say just make sure that any images that you upload are either you've paid for them or they are royalty free. I grabbed my images off of a Pinterest page just because I'm not actually a realtor. I'm not using my website to run a business. I'm just using this for an example purpose. And it tells you here the recommended size is 1200 by 1200, which is a large square. So on the desktop right now, this looks pretty wide. It cuts it off at the top, but when people are looking at it on their mobile device, it'll be an actual square image. It'll look much better. And really everything that you do should be optimized for mobile devices because 80% of web traffic comes from cell phones. All right. Any questions so far? All right, I'm a fast talker, so if I get to going too fast, you all slow me down, all right? All right, so we're gonna move on to the next page. This is what they call your company profile. You can change this page title to be, you know, my experience. And I cannot type with an audience. So you'll see we just changed it here under page title, but it didn't update on the left-hand side. That's because this is what it's gonna look like in the dropdown. Under content is where we wanna update that again, so. And again. Okay, see, so now it's updated on the left. Okay, so navigation shows you where these pages appear in the dropdown, and you can reorganize these. So since I just renamed this from company profile to my experience, that will populate once we publish the page. But this page specifically, you have the opportunity to make it about whatever you want. You have 2 paragraphs here. You've got 2 images you can upload. You can change out this image behind the My Experience, which I would recommend to make sure that either it makes sense for the area that you're working in, because I'm in Lexington, Kentucky, and this does not look like Lexington. Same thing with the homes down here. These just do not look like my area, so I would change out these images. And this is the page that'll probably take you the longest because it requires the most content. So heading back to search engine optimization, this is how people would find this page if they were Googling realtor or local realtor. You want to make sure that it is optimized to show up on search results. So that's what this SEO description is, search engine optimization description. And there's a little info box here. So this is the description that's going to show up in search results. You want this to be about no longer than 3 sentences, just explaining what this page is. So if this comes up in search results, people know exactly what that page is, what they can get to here. So if I Google your SEO description is going to be this little gray text here. If I search, let's see what comes up here because I'm not actually a realtor. Hey, there's actually a picture of me. These little sentences below the first clickable link here, these are the search engine optimization descriptions, right? So that's what you're writing. Are there any questions about the SEO description? Okay. Under content, this is what you're changing actually on the page. So here, again, we have the header or the hero image. It's got the recommended size for you. You can upload that here. I would recommend changing this because these are the standard images that come on every Keller Williams agent website. You have an intro paragraph here. Again, you can write whatever you want. I usually recommend that agents use this page to talk about their experience in real estate, maybe their expertise, why someone should hire you as a realtor. This is kind of like your sales pitch about yourself or your team. If you are specifically working in horse farms, talk about, you know, your experience and your expertise in horse farms. If you specialize in relocation or homes for heroes, add that here, something to differentiate you from other realtors in the region. All right, and then you've got a footer title, footer description. A lot of stuff says it's optional, but then on your page, it'll show up with optional in parentheses. So if you can, fill out everything that has a text box. So I'm gonna skip this one. All right, this next page is the About Me page. Again, you can change that title here. And if you change it under the search engine optimization, it's just renaming that page here. If you want it to be changed actually on this page on the left-hand side, you need to change it under content. And I always suggest any chance you have to brand the page to yourself, do so. So instead of About Me, do About Chloe, about your name. Put your name as many places as you can on your website. Okay, so same thing, SEO description, 3 sentences about what this page is. I'm gonna change this to About Chloe. The only thing this changes is the URL below me here that says chloebates.kw.com/aboutchloe. Nobody actually has to type that in, but that's what shows up when people are on your website up here in the top left. Okay, and then content, a lot of this should be pulling from your marketing profile. So if you've already got that filled out, you won't have to add anything here. You just want to confirm that this contact information is correct. And then I'm going to skip this because I already have mine set up. Okay. The last page is the contact us or contact me page. Again, I'm going to recommend that you change us to your name or your team name. Okay, this says optional, but if you don't type anything here, this will actually appear on your website. So I would say add something like, to help you find your dream home. So this message hint is what appears here on the left. It's kind of just a prompt for people before they send you a message to try and get them to answer these questions. So are you currently looking for a realtor? Have you been pre-approved? What's your budget? I wouldn't ask too many questions because you don't want to overwhelm people and fill this entire box, but something to get them started so they don't just put nothing. Okay, any questions about this page? All right, gonna save and continue. It's thinking about it. There we go. Okay, so now we've made it through the entire Kelly guide. Let me move this. Okay, and so you'll see there were just 4 sections that we did: your subdomain, the theme, content, and then the what's next. So now to get back to command to see my website, I can go to manage sites. And your website will be up here at the top. So you can click this and it'll take you to your live site. And so you'll see mine, I have changed to welcome home. I believe the standard is find your dream home. It's pulling all of this information from my marketing profile. And then remember when I said my team, I changed to agent success team. That's what they have branded here as the name for the drop-down menu. So this isn't what we just did. This is a website that I already set up. You can also add specific pages to your website. So I have leave a review. This is a widget that you can add so your clients can leave you a review. What agents are saying is actually displaying those reviews. And I know on my desktop computer, this looks really wide and really like white space, it's empty. Most of your traffic is going to come from mobile sites, so this will look a lot better on a phone or an iPad. Okay, and then if you have your Facebook or Instagram account linked in your marketing profile, that'll appear down here as well. Okay, what questions do we have so far? Nothing. You guys are all pros at agent websites now, huh? Okay, I need somebody to speak up and tell me, do you want me to show you how to add an additional page to your site with featured listings or a market snap? In the top right, I have Kennewick Market Stats. This is a neighborhood in my area. I would recommend adding this if you farm an area. If you want to be like, I am the queen of Kennewick. I know everything there is to know about this neighborhood. This is my territory. Add that neighborhood to your website.
Yes, please.
Okay. Thank you. All right. So to do that, you would do create a new page. You would select on my agent site, You also have the opportunity to create a page just as a standalone landing page. This is really helpful if you're going to do like a specific page for a listing. So 123mainstreet.kw.com. If you're going on a listing presentation and say, I can make your home its very own website, this is what you would do. But this one's going to be on our agent site. I'm going to create this page. All right, up here, let's name our site. And this is internal. This is not what it's going to look like on your website. Okay, on the right-hand side, you'll see we have widgets for everything that you can add for a custom page. So if you're a team, you can add a team widget and upload photos of your team members. Okay, you could also have, this is the testimonials carousel, testimonials list, testimonial capture form. This is where I was showing you, you could have like the review page on your website or the download my app. You don't have to do anything with this. Just drop that widget in and hit save changes. If they click this download button, it's already branded to your specific URL. Now, I'm not seeing my MarketSnap widget, which is strange. Josh. Because I had that available before. Okay, this may be a bust. Regardless, I'll show you guys how to add the download my app widget. And then I will look into why my MarketSnap is not showing up. Okay, so once you add your widgets or your boxes here, you also have the option to add a content block. So if you wanted to add another image or a text block, if you want to say anything additionally, you can do that here. But once you have things where you want them, you select configure widgets. This is where you can change the text in this box. So it says download the KW app. I would say download my KW app or download my home search app. Okay, so it says get free access to local homes from any mobile device. I would also add that the KW app is ad-free. They don't sell your data. The only person that can see what you're doing in the app is your agent. You can change this button text to download app, download my app. Let's get started. Find your dream home. So my redirect button just says download because I'm not an agent, so I don't have a branded URL, but you should have a specific URL here that is branded to you. So I'm gonna hit save and apply. And again, it is thinking about it. Always super helpful when the tech doesn't want to cooperate when you're teaching a class. Okay, so now it prompted me, do you want to go to the agent site pages to add it to your website? Because we just created that page, but it's not actually live on my site yet. So I'm going to show you how to get back there if you don't have that prompt. So you'll see we just made this page, download my app, but the little eyeball is gray. That means it's not live. Okay, so I need to go to site and app settings up here in the top right. Agent site pages, and I'm going to add a page here. I'm going to select the download my app that we just created July 15th. Continue. So now this title says new page, and that's what's going to show up in the drop-down box. So this is where we want to change it to download my app. Again, you've got an SEO description to write. So This is just an example. You should have at least 2 or 3 sentences here. And then the URL slug, we'll change this to download. Okay. So now this has been added to my agent website. If I go back to my agent site pages, now this is that teal color. I call it Kelly Blue. If you click and go look at your website, now under the drop-down, download my app should appear. There she is. And it didn't work. Cool. Okay, so we can go back and fix that. Usually that would work for you. Okay, it just didn't like that I changed the text here. So then I can hit publish page, which we didn't have that option in the first go around. Okay, let's see now. There we go. Okay, again, this looks really empty on my giant desktop, but on your phone, it would look much better. If I click this download app, it'll take me to this page where people are prompted to either go to the App Store or the Google Play Store. And it's got all kinds of information about the app. For you guys, it'll be branded to you right here. There will be like a picture of you and your name and your contact info. Again, because I'm not actually a realtor, I don't have the branded URL. So it just takes you to the standard download the KW app. Okay. So do you want to see the options for adding a standalone page for a specific listing, or maybe if you were going to do an open house? Anybody want to see what that entails? Cody, thumbs up, got it, okay. All right, so to do that, you would go to create a new page as a landing page. And you should have different widgets over here available to you. Yep, here we go. So this is where we've got, if you want to have a featured listing, Market Snap. I would suggest always add a branded header since this isn't tied to your agent website. You want to make sure that you have your branding somewhere. I'm going to add a listing, and then we'll also add a Market Snap about the neighborhood as well. Let's say we're making this page for an open house. And at the beginning of COVID, I really loved that we had this tool available for you guys, because when our agents were able to start doing open houses again, instead of having printed out materials like the seller's disclosure or a detailed info sheet, we started doing QR codes printed out on pieces of paper. People would come through the house, you just hold your phone over the QR code and it would take them to this custom landing page about the property. So nobody had to sign in with a communal pen. Nobody had to grab paperwork that was printed out and touched by who knows who. If you are interested in how to create a QR code and do that for open houses going forward, drop your email in the chat and I'll follow up with you and show you how to do that, because that's a class I've taught before. Okay, so we've got our branded header. I've got, ooh, this is pulling real weird. And then I'm gonna add the Market Snap underneath it. That might be too much. We're gonna take the Market Snap out.
That was the first thing that you had asked, was doing the Market Snap. Is this where we would actually do that, like we were going to do before?
Yes, but I was a little confused because I have the Market Snap available on my agent site.
Okay.
And I don't see that available when you are adding a page like that widget wasn't available to add to your agent site. So I'm going to follow up with Josh Boatman to see if that was removed or how I managed to finagle that.
Right.
So I'll follow up with you guys. Okay, this is configured weird. We're going to fix that. But at the bottom of this, I'm going to add a lead form. And again, because we're optimizing for mobile, we want to be mindful of someone looking at this on their phone. We want to keep it pretty short. All right, so now that we've got the widgets that we want, we're going to configure them. So the lead form here says interested, let's talk. That's pretty much the only thing that you can change. I'm going to say if this is for an open house, please sign in. Okay. So we've got 3 widgets here that we need to configure. This first one, the branded header, is just this information at the top, and it's pulling directly from my marketing profile. So I can look at that if I want to, but it should already be up to date. You can add the header text. So I would say 123 Main Street open house. And that'll appear up here. There you go. And then we've got the listing. So this pulls directly from the KWLS. So I'm going to add okay. All right, so now it's pulling that property directly from the MLS. It's got the front elevation of the property. It's pulled over all of the listing info and all of the images from the listing as well. You also have the opportunity to upload a custom image. If you don't like the images available, you can upload your own. So I'm going to hit save and apply, and it'll populate on the left-hand side here. All right, so here's the property. It's got the price here. You would just want to confirm that this information is correct. It pulls over the marketing remarks, and then it will carousel through all of the images that are available on the MLS for you. It's got all the details. It shows you on the map where the property is located. And then I've got this lead form at the bottom. So if all of that looks good, you can publish the page. This makes it active. You don't have to go through the process of adding it to your agent site again. It's just live and out there. But don't worry, because nobody knows it exists. So it's not like it's got tons of people flooding to this website. Okay. So now I'm under agent site pages. This is just what's on my website. If I go to landing pages, that's where we would find this. And so you can also click on the right-hand side here, change URL. You can only get rid of like the last 20 characters or so, but I could do 123 Main Street. So now this site is live. You can click on that. This will toggle through these images. And then anybody that fills out information here, it'll tell you when you get a lead from the page, and it'll go directly into your contacts. You'll get a notification up here, and Kelly will send you a notification that you have a new lead from this page. All right. What other questions do you have, friends? Nothing? Everybody's good?
You can make that kind of landing page potential clients. So you can like have your own site, have those kind of lead pages for anyone that you're preparing it for, I guess, or want to see that. I know it
Sorry,
wasn't really a
Scott, can
question, but I
you
was just kind of come to.
can you ask that again? I didn't quite gather what your question
Yeah,
was.
no, it was more like me. Like, yeah. So that landing page that you're making, you put like a client property on that page, right? Like that image. You're making that for the client to look at it like retroactively, or for like new clients to like, see?
That would be for like new clients. So that would be like, that's already an active listing in the MLS. That's where I got all that information. That was if we were going to be hosting an open house, we would have
Then
people,
you can see pictures and stuff ahead. Yeah.
yeah, go there to find like the seller's disclosure or to sign in or to see details about the home, without having to pick up, you know, a detailed info sheet or, you know, sign in on a piece of paper and pen.
Okay.
You also have the opportunity to, you know, once you get the listing and it's live for your clients, go and have that be an additional marketing piece for them. Be like, your home is being pushed to thousands of, you know, home websites. We're also going to market it on Facebook, on Instagram, and it's got its own custom landing page, so you can direct people there, and share that with them as well.
Okay.
You guys have a recommendation as far as what service to get your URL through? And then is there any recommendations on what to use as a URL to redirect to the page?
Not really. Do you have like a custom website that like is codyharper.com?
I don't currently, and that's what I was trying to decide is what to make it, because I'd like to have it something that redirects to Keller Williams.
I know a lot of our agents use either GoDaddy or Boomtown.
GoDaddy is what I've always used for all my websites in the past, so I just wanted to make sure that it worked well with this. The software seems to have a whole lot of glitches right now. So
Hey, Cody, I have a brianhamlin.com with GoDaddy, and I don't have any trouble with it right now. However, I did speak with somebody who, I guess there's another domain site other than GoDaddy that works better with command right now. They're working some issues out with GoDaddy. I don't know what those are. I haven't run into any of them, but if you go to brianhamlin.com, it shoots you straight to my KW site. I don't have any issue with it. So
nice.
Yeah.
What is that other website that works better with command? Do you know, Brian?
I do not. I don't remember. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
It's another domain site.
was it somebody at the office that said that to you, Brian?
Yes.
Okay. I will go.
And unfortunately, Cody, I don't remember who it was.
I've never had many issues with GoDaddy, but I've had a few. I've had a bunch of websites for different companies I've owned. So I just wanted to make sure it would work with this software.
Should.
Just the basics. I don't have any trouble with it, Cody.
All right, thanks.
And I'm going to follow up with Josh Boatman to figure out how I got that market snap on my agent site, but I am not able to do it in showing you all. So yeah, I'll update you guys. Did anybody throw their email in the chat? Please do that if you want me to follow up with you about the market snap. And if you're interested in creating a QR code that takes you to a custom landing page. Cody, your voice sounds so different.
Oh, shoot, I forgot to mute it.
It's okay.
That's my assistant.
All right. Well, thank you all so much for tuning in. Are there any additional questions before we hop off? Hey, bud.
Hi.
Are you working hard with Daddy?
Eating his scrambled eggs for an hour now.
Teach them about title insurance. We need to raise them young.
Yeah.
I looked
All
at
right.
it.
Well, if you guys don't have any other questions, I'm going to hop off here. I thank you so much for tuning in this morning. If you have any questions that you think about, Chloe Bates at kw.com. I'll answer those for you, but you all have a great day.
Thanks, Chloe.
Hey, thank you, Chloe.